Howdy. Welcome to TJ Works Wood. If you're new to the channel, hello. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back. It's been a minute since I've had a video up. That's because, as you may notice, I've moved. And I just got the garage set up to have some sort of semblance of a workshop. It's not done by any means, and I really want to get some projects going. I've got a lot of stuff to build. Coffee tables, sliding barn doors for my wife's office, a desk for her, maybe something for me, but definitely something for the shop. The very first thing I want to build is my sign. My wife got me this for Christmas, and I haven't been able to get it up yet because I haven't had time nor really a way to do so. And I'm going to make a really cool background for this. It's going to have the power adapters, which are kind of like computer adapters. It's got two of these actually, and I'm going to have that enclosed and wire it all towards just on a rocker switch, so I can just walk up to it, turn it on, and it'll be on. We're going to have a nice background. We've got some, when we moved in, we had some wood flooring panels that look really nice, and they're just extra. So I'm going to use those. We'll see how it goes, and hopefully y'all enjoy this. All right, let's have some fun.
So I had this piece of Baltic birch left over from a previous project. It is 32 inches across, which is so handy because this sign is 32 inches in diameter. Turns out later on it doesn't really matter because I make a few adjustments, but it's going to be the piece I use. It's probably a little thick, so the sign's going to be a little heavy, but it is what it is. So as you can tell, I picked the perfect camera angle to see all the cuts being made. My fence is in the way, obviously, so not going to be too thrilling of footage here. All I'm doing is cutting everything to the dimensions needed, but I'm not going to bore you with watching this weird angled cutting, so we're going to speed through.
Alrighty, got the frame cut. I made one change kind of on the fly. It was exactly 32 inches, which is the diameter of the sign. I decided I wanted to stick kind of off the top and off the bottom a little bit when it's up against the wall, so it'll be more like, you know, out here instead of just exactly even. Other benefit of that is, since it came off, the box ends are perfect. They are the exact right length. One miscalculation I made was the sides now aren't. I made them 32 inches, which was going to be a mistake anyway, so not a big deal. But what I'm going to do, instead of measuring to cut, what I've learned from some of my mistakes in the past is cut to fit. What that means is, instead of measuring exactly the length, like taking your tape measure and being like, okay, this is X amount of inches this way, now measure X amount out that way, there's a little bit of error that can come into play there. So what I like to do is take your piece, get it set up exactly how you want it. That's going to be lined up there. Get this piece, this bottom piece, lined up here. Take your pencil or whatever marking apparatus you want to use. Mark that off. Had 2 marks on there. And do the same over here. Make sure that's even up there. This now, make sure this is even. Yeah, and mark it here. So another thing I like to do is mark where they're going. So we'll just call this one 1, 1, 2, 2, and mark arrows on these. 3, 3, and 4, 4, and an arrow on this one as well. Oops. So that way we know everything's measured and cut to the specific dimensions that they're supposed to be. All right, so take these over to the miter saw. It is covered with stuff. I might just use my crosscut sled. We'll see. Let's see how much of this stuff I can move and get out of the way and make it usable. And you will see what I'm using right now.
I'm going to go ahead and get the frame of the box glued up and Brad stapled in. I don't know what they're called, but a buddy of mine gave me this pneumatic stapler. He had a couple extra, so I got it for free. So thanks, Casey. And yeah, we'll just get this done and move on to the next phase.
Okay, now, before I can put this one on, I almost forgot. I need to put a notch. Let's see, let's make sure it fits first. Yep. Tight. Cut to fit. Perfect. That's a nice fit right there. All right, so what I got to do is cut a notch out right here-ish, nowhere specific, and put one of the junction boxes in. So let me do that. I'm going to use my crosscut sled on the table saw and just kind of, I don't have a dado stack, so just going to take a couple of swipes with it with the crosscut sled. So let's do that and then get this glued in.
Once I got the board lined up on the sled and got the stop set and the height of the blade set, I just took multiple passes, moving the piece over about 1/8 of an inch every time, and then any straggling pieces hanging, you can just clean them up like that. You might notice here in a moment I did not take into account the mounting brackets for the junction box, but I did go back and make those shallow cuts there so it would fit. Now, the screws, I had to do it twice because I did it exactly and didn't take into account the height of the screw heads that are sticking up there. But I got it done and it all fits pretty perfect. Now we just got to mount the second box for the outlet for the power adapters to plug into.
All right, got these in. I'll put the Velcro over later. That'll be kind of a final touch. Put these little blocks on the ends too, just to keep it from sliding around. But they're not wedged in there, but they're nice and they're not going anywhere. Let's just say that. So, okay, cool. Let's see. What can we do next? I don't know. Let's do this. So, let's get this puppy, all this is going to be covered with the floor paneling to give it kind of a darker look. Let's see. All right, let's put this on here, and I'm keeping the protective wrap on it. For now, let's see. So I ran out of battery and I ran out of storage. Not in that order. Storage ran out, then battery ran out. So I have the phone plugged in now, and I deleted a few old videos and stuff. But I just wanted to, what you missed was I centered this. You can see here, I found the center point of the board, got the sign centered out, and then the mounting holes, there's 4 of them along the perimeter, and I marked those, and I marked the 2 spots where the cord's going to go through. One over there, one here. It's late. I think I'm just going to go to bed. I might drill these holes out just real quick, and then I'll go sleep and then wake up, work, and then maybe finish this tomorrow. So we'll see. I'm excited. I made a lot more progress tonight than I thought I would. I got to do the electrical still, but I think that's going to be. I'm not going to take my time on it. I'm going to do it as correct as I think I can. And but I think we'll do really. I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to be okay. All right. I'll get to this later. All right. So I did get the holes drilled for the electrical cords and the mounting points the other night. It's been about a week since I've been out here to work on this. I was out of town, and I got my second vaccine shot, which really put me out of commission for the day after. But here we are. It's been a couple days. I'm ready to do this. So right now we're going to cut the veneer tops.
In hindsight, I should have made the box something divisible by the width of these floor panels. Got a little bit of leftover there, but no big deal. So I'll go ahead and just real quick cut some of the longer pieces to something that might fit, and then kind of puzzle piece it together. The only pieces that matter are that short piece there and the bottom left piece. That'll become evident shortly whenever we mount the sign. We're basically just going to glue these all in. A few of the staples here and there, but they're interlocking, so they should hold each other together. The main thing is that they're not going to get any wear and tear. It's a sign. It's going up on the wall. They don't have to be super secure. We'll go ahead and cut that last small strip. I'll get glue everywhere per the usual. Clean that up, and then we will make some notches in those 2 small pieces that I mentioned earlier. These slots don't have to be super precise. They just have to somewhat line up with the holes that I drilled for the power cords of the sign to go in. We'll just go ahead and use the flush trim router bit just to clean up the edges on both sides to give it a nice clean look. Having those initial holes drilled into the plywood whenever the sign was centered allows me to drill from the backside into the flooring so I can center the sign on the front. And I use a Forstner bit here. I probably should have used a spade bit, but I'll go ahead and drill the hole for the power cord to run through. All right, I'm going to speed through this. I am not an electrician. I know enough to be dangerous and get it all set up. So don't take any advice from me. Anything you see here is probably wrong. Don't use it. But I will say that the switch works and it powers the outlets. I could not find my Velcro, so I just used some steel strapping to mount everything. And here I go ahead and get the sign centered using the holes punched through from the back into the flooring. And now you'll see why those notches were so important. I slide the flooring in and I can just put the power cord right in there. It basically disappears. There's a little bit of a notch there that you'll see, but only if you're real close. Gives it a cleaner look, and I don't know, it just looks better than a giant hole. So we'll go ahead and make sure that everything's hooked up correctly. We'll hit the switch and watch it power up. It takes it a second to power up, but it powers up and shines bright. It's the next day, and I'm going to go ahead and finish up the wiring stuff. No idea where the Velcro is still, so using some more steel strapping, make sure everything's secured up in there. All right, let's get this ready to mount on the wall. We're going to use a French cleat to do that. It's just super simple. Cut a piece of wood down the center, 45 degrees, put half of it on the wall, half of it on your item, in this case the sign, and that way you can easily hang it up, and if you need to take it down to do anything to it or move it, all you have to do is lift up on it and pull it off. Whenever I mount it, you'll see how easy it really is to use a French cleat. I mentioned earlier that I used 3/4 inch plywood. That is really heavy when it all came down to it. I was going to just put it into 2 studs, but I decided to go ahead and put it into 3. Here you just mount half of the French cleat up there, make sure it's level. Super simple, way easier than hanging the whole sign all at one time. And then you just go grab it and slide it on.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this build. That was a lot of fun, just getting that together. It went together a lot easier than I thought it was going to. Yeah, so I'm surprised and super excited about how it looks. I'm really happy with it. I think my wife will be happy too that I finally got it up. But stay tuned, like and subscribe, hit the bell if you want to see exactly when my videos come out. You'll get a little notification. And yeah, I look forward to having you back. And thanks for watching.